Hello everyone, my name is Retro, and today I'm here on my warrior in the Barrens, just looking at the people getting their world buffs and killing some mobs to get my warrior leveled up. Today I decided to level a warrior. I named him the Trolley because I'm playing a troll and I'm currently level 12. I've played, let me check. I have played 5 hours, so not a good leveling speed, but I decided I wanted to level just killing mobs in the Barrens, not doing so much questing, because I just wanted to watch a video instead of being like paying attention to doing quests and trying to group and stuff like that. So instead of watching a video, I decided I was going to take this time to record a video myself, improve on my commentary skills, and maybe try to make something out of this time I'm spending while leveling. So I didn't want to make the first episode of this, you could call it a series or maybe a commentary piece here on the channel, a bit, if you could call it that, called RPG Talks. And I didn't want to make RPG Talks first episode on WoW because I've been recording way too much WoW content and I know it puts some people off. But maybe because this game is part of my identity and part of the reason for why I love RPGs so much, maybe it's a good idea to use WoW as the first subject for RPG Talks. And what better than using WoW Classic on the class I've played the most and maybe the way I played this game the most. And if you don't know, WoW Classic is one of my favorite games, so I think that pretty much gives you all the context you need. So, RPG Talks, let's get into it. What do I want to accomplish with this series? Let's not dive too deep into it because it doesn't need to be too deep. And the concept of it is basically I want to have a solo podcast type of stuff that can last from 8 to 15 minutes, nothing too long, where I just lay out some thoughts on the game I've been playing and talk about general RPG stuff that comes to my mind from day to day on a daily basis. And since I'm leveling this warrior now in WoW Classic, I decided to make this episode about why WoW Classic is such a comfort game to me. And I was thinking about that just because I decided to hop on the game today and create a new character, something that usually you take some thought into before creating and going for it. Because if you know anything about Classic WoW, these characters take a lot of time to level, so it's not something that you just commit to and go for it for like 100 to 200 hours at a time to level to max. So why do I do it? Why do I go back and create new characters and play this game like a comfort game when it's a game that requires a lot of investment? And well, let's start by the fact that I'm mob grinding and not actually doing quests. There are a lot of ways to approach WoW Classic, and I think there's some comfort to be found in that. For example, as you can see right here, I'll pull up my bags. You can see I have these axes right here that are green quality, and I have a lot of potions and bandages and scrolls. And this is the first time that I'm leveling a warrior with power leveling. So basically, I am using my main mage, which you might have seen on the other episodes called I Am the Fire or the Fire Mage episodes I have made in WoW Classic recently. And I'm using some of his gold to basically pump some gear and consumables so that I can level however I want to in this warrior and basically play a power fantasy character throughout its leveling because it's very easy. Because if you don't know, warriors in Classic are very gear dependent, and the better the gear, the more damage you are going to deal. And it just makes it easier if you could send one or two stronger weapons into your character to make the leveling process just way more smooth. Because if I had other acts than the one I'm using right now and didn't have all these potions and effects, this wouldn't be as smooth and as fun as it is. And now let's talk about that comfort bit that I was talking about. Why does this feel comfortable? And it's hard to explain if you haven't played it, but there's something about the simplicity of just hopping into your favorite world and knowing you're surrounded by people. As you can see, there's a lot of people here. The game is active, there are people playing. There's something comfortable in knowing that you're leveling a character, you're doing your stuff, you're progressing no matter how meaningless the activity you're doing is, you're still getting something out of it. Like, I always like to say that in Classic, it doesn't matter if you get 20 or 1000 XP. XP is XP because there's an end goal. That end goal is level 60, and no matter how you get to it, it's always progress. And I find some comfort in knowing that there is an MMORPG that I can hop into and do like dumb stuff such as killing plane striders for hours on end, that it will still lend me some progress. And that's just what I decided to do today. And there are things that bring me back to these games. So, like, why did I decide to create a warrior today? I was just at work and I had some time to watch a YouTube video or two, and I watched that Zaryu video that he uploaded, one of the last videos he uploaded from WoW content to his channel, where he was playing his samurai build on classic hardcore, and that just gave me the itch to come back and play warrior on classic. And that's just the fun I decided I was going to have today. And the comfort bit comes when you know you can come in and, as I said, progress without having to do stuff like Mythic Plus, because I personally grinded out the 2k Mythic Plus mount recently, and that wasn't that hard, I'm gonna be honest, but it still requires some effort. And you always feel like when you go into a game like WoW Retail, you're not just playing an RPG. It has that competitive aspect to it where you hop in and you know you're not just going to do RPG stuff that you can pretty much turn off or just fully have fun, because when it comes to things like Mythic Plus, you have to actually pay attention so you don't do something like break your key or ruin others' keys, and you actually have to try. And here you also have to try, because if I just go around like pull 2 or 3 mobs, I am going to die, but it's on a much lower scale than something like retail WoW, raiding, or doing Mythic Plus. So yeah, those are some of the things that bring me comfort in this game. And as I said, leveling with consumables from other character and gear that I can bring from other character brings me a lot of joy, just enjoying being around in the Barrens. And I know a lot of people enjoy it too, because I got through the starting zone today. I played a little bit here in Durotar, the starting zone for trolls and orcs, and I saw a lot of people. I even quested with a guy or two. But yeah, just wanted to make this simple episode for RPG Talks, first episode. Nothing scripted, something just simple, where I could lay out some of the first thoughts, just so you guys got the idea of what this series or what this mini solo podcast could be. I was thinking of making another episode about Skyrim, because I've been playing Skyrim as well, and the first episode was either going to be WoW or Skyrim, because those are my 2 most played RPGs outside of something like Final Fantasy. And I thought they would be good first episodes to look back at if this series keeps going on in a few years. So, I don't know, comments on YouTube are pretty dead, but if you like RPGs, what is something that brings you comfort in them? I'd love to hear it. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in a comment. Tell me what you thought about this more relaxed style of video, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been the Retro then, and I'm out.